Hey guys, what's up? It's Charles Floate here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video where I'll be interviewing SEO experts and entrepreneurs from around the world. In today's very special episode, I am sat with Mr. Jacky Chou, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure, man. So obviously you've done a few videos recently around Parasite SEO, and you're one of the people, to be fair, which last year was probably alongside me one of the biggest proponents in terms of, Twitter and that kind of SEO influence sphere of Parasite SEO, and the fact that it was absolutely killing it with several sites you could literally buy like $200 posts on and they'd go to number one, tomorrow kind of thing. Since then, a lot of stuff has happened. Google have come out with this manual action. They actually recently, and I don't know if you've seen this, but about 6 hours ago or 12 hours ago or so, Danny Sullivan did an interview, and he did a follow-up question where he talked about the spam reputation abuse policy, and he actually said that the algorithmic side, they aren't going to release it anytime soon, and they're taking it very seriously, which is quite interesting. I think from our side, that the fact that obviously HCU they just rolled out and it kind of instantly killed a lot of people's businesses overnight, but the sites that have obviously been abusing, a lot of these sites, bear in mind, are doing it themselves. It's not actually authentic Parasite SEO. They've just done it themselves nowadays. So I'd like to just start off by kind of getting your opinion on how you think Parasite SEO has changed since last year, and how you think Google's reaction has, if anything, done much damage to it, and if it's still as, I think we have a slight disagreement when it comes to how effective it can be now versus how it used to be. So I'd just like to see what your thoughts are on it versus then versus now kind of thing.
Yeah. So you were definitely the pioneer of Parasite SEO last year. I saw your post. I was like, no way that's that easy. And then I tested out a couple posts. I'm like, okay, it is that fucking easy. This is ridiculous. The good old Outlook India days, that was insane. I did all that in public, thankfully, because I didn't want to, risk any of our partnership sites. So I tested it all. It worked extremely well last year. Like literally anything. Best protein powder to best, CRM software, all worked. Outlook India, all worked. If you interlinked it, like some of the other guys in some more sophisticated affiliate guys did it, it worked like you could rank for anything. But I think now, after the manual site reputation abuse update, well, it's not really an update. They had to manually go in and clap people, so it's kind of sus. But after that, I found it like the public's Parasite sites, it was much harder to rank for competitive terms. But the quote unquote private or less well-known Parasite sites that I've tested, which I did a video on recently, those still work like a charm. So as long as Google doesn't really know about it just yet, it's still easy to abuse. Reddit is extremely easy to abuse right now. I think Reddit works the best out of all the quote unquote public Parasite sites. But besides that, I think if you wanted to go after best CBD oil, you could have done that with Outlook India. You could have done that with any Parasite site a year ago, but you wouldn't be able to do that with any Parasite site right now. That's what I'm saying.
I do think you could definitely get on page one with Parasites right now, to be fair, for best CBD oil. And I think you would have to go down the route of doing either what you have done, which is a partnership deals, to be fair, or you would have to find a Parasite that is just too expensive for the average person to even consider it. You're talking about a $10,000 guest post kind of thing, or it is going down and finding sites that nobody has used yet and kind of exploited yet. And as you said, Google hasn't clocked onto it. I think a lot of those sites, generally speaking, aren't on the subfolders where it's a dedicated subfolder for Parasite. And we've seen a lot of those subfolders just get whacked, and some sites have come back since then. I want to kind of talk to you about your partnerships, because I think, as you rightly said, to be fair, that's where a lot of the big money is when you can do the additional research and analysis and get the sites that either nobody else is using, or B, nobody else has used yet. Are you identifying sites to go and reach out to and building that relationship first, or are you getting sites coming to you and then kind of reverse engineering their topical authority and kind of building offers for them? Or is it the other way around?
Most of our close rates right now or historically speaking, have been people reaching out to us, and they range from large bloggers with like DR60 all the way up to like private equity firms with like 6 or 7 DR80 plus sites. And then once we get them in, it's like we get all their portfolio. So most of them come inbound, but we have been scaling up outreach right now with, you know, our exact filter is DR60 plus. And then we go out and outreach to anyone and everyone right now, because it's a why not, right?
Yeah, it's a shotgun kind of method, right? But is it just English, or are you doing international kind
Just
of
English.
stuff?
Just English.
Just English.
Just English.
Okay. Do you have any kind of notion to kind of go into other international markets or anything? Because obviously the algos are so much easier, and because Google manually slapped, and again because Google manually slapped these sites, they didn't do it in other languages. So they haven't slapped any of the parasites in French or German or something like that, right?
Yeah, several people have reached out to me in like Portuguese, like Brazilian Portuguese sites, like huge. Like if you check Ahrefs, they're like top in their country. I just honestly, I'm like, I have my hands full with the English ones. Brazilian Portuguese looks extremely good. I would look into that. German, any German is amazing. Besides that, I think the Asian languages are crazy too. Japanese obviously is crazy, but those guys will never sign on like randos like us. Even if we're like well known in the SEO space, I think Japanese people just want to work with Japanese people. Korean the same. Yeah, I think it'll have to be like a Western country that will be able to sign on with us, but it's just not something I looked into. Just more money in English. More money in English.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Like a lot of the world's capital is kind of in English anyway, and things. I do think there are some niches where it's beneficial to do it in the other languages because there's just like less regulation and less kind of insight and things like that and stuff. So you can get away with a lot more than you can in English, right? Like being from the UK and being from Canada and stuff and things, there's still certain rules we have to kind of abide by, right, and stuff. And in those other countries and languages, they tend to just not give a fuck at all, really, to be fair, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think the darkest industry I've touched is like not it's I don't even do casino or payday loans right now. When I say competitive in my niche, it's mostly like supplements and pharma, which are like thankfully regulated and legalized.
Even like supplements, though, you have stuff like peptides and stuff, right? And that's still pretty under the kind of rug and stuff, and pretty gray area when it comes to regulation. But obviously, it's a massive market, and you can.
Is it? I don't even know, but we definitely target peptides.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know a couple of guys that are cleaning up in that market, right? I do know though, as you just said, gambling tends to just be the biggest market. Like if you go, for example, the biggest market that I know is Indonesian gambling. Recently, to be fair, some of the guys, some of the guys in that country have been making millions a week. Like and that's in profit. Like that's unheard of, generally speaking, in a lot of kind of more legitimate markets and stuff, right? So do you differentiate between the partnerships and traditional Parasite SEO where you would like buying the posts from out like India? Is it slightly different, or is it just the same kind of style and tactic that you group together?
Yeah, it's definitely different with partnerships. Parasites, I typically use that as a tester, and I just do it in public to get people in for partnerships. I don't really make. I think the most amount of money I made from Parasites is probably under like 10 grand total. But partnerships is way more. It's just easier. You don't have to answer to anyone. You have access and you just run it. It's great. I don't really differentiate. I think my tactics for partnerships is more legitimate. I wouldn't go after the darkest niches. Like I wouldn't throw on any casinos. We have pre-agreed on topics that we go for. I always ask if they're down for OnlyFans, and they're almost never down. So we try to set boundaries on like what we're able to do. Whereas like Parasites, I'll just test anything. Like I just throw it out to see if it ranks right now. Just to have like a good finger on the pulse on the current algo. And it's as you probably know, it's still pretty shit.
Yeah, 100%. To clarify as well, is that 10K per page?
For Parasites,
Yeah.
I think honestly it's like total, dude.
Wow,
Most of
really?
the money is made in partnerships. Yeah, I don't really make money on Parasites. I just do it as testers. Even when I rank, like what keywords did I rank for? I forgot. I did a couple in public for best Vancouver realtor, where like average homes here are like freaking 2 million. I didn't even sell that page. I just did it for shits and giggles. It's pretty jokes. I didn't get paid for that.
So the
But we're
intent
number
is
one
more
for like
for testing, right?
a year. Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense too as well. Are you optimizing these pages, or is it just your straight AI kind of blasting out as many as you can and letting the root authority rank them?
For partnerships or Parasites or both?
For both. Yeah. I'm guessing obviously for testing, that would be you don't care as much for testing. You just want to throw it up and see, and get the test out as much as possible, right? Yeah. But for pages that you're actually trying to rank, right?
Yeah. We humanize and then re-optimize first. So we make sure it passes all AI detector tests, which is, it's a bit shit still, but we make sure, and then we optimize using like Surfer or equivalent.
What's your opinion on kind of the humanization? Is that a necessity, or do you think that Google doesn't? It does 100%.
It does work, yeah, because unfortunately, so if you spam, like, we've tested it. So we've had partnership sites where did not get hit at all. Fingers crossed right now. Google, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But like if we humanized it, they wouldn't be able to find it. And I just don't talk about these sites at all in public. And they're humanized, under the radar. Still till this day, it's A-okay. I don't even report their numbers right now. That's how scared I am. I don't report their numbers. So my daily numbers, it does not include these sites. We will never find them. But
that's pretty interesting, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the same cohort that like I did a year ago. They're totally fine. Whereas the other sites where I went aggressive and didn't humanize, all got clapped.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. I do wonder if it's Google's ability to detect that low quality kind of it already had that ability with its classification algorithms, or if it did actually put in something to try and detect, pattern-based recognition or something with the AI content, or it's just the fact that it could identify these pages are all 10 out of 100 quality score, so we're just going to clap them anyway, kind of thing, because the AI doesn't do that extra. That there's no images, there's no additional bolding or texting or stuff like that, text formatting.
Yeah, no, we format it pretty heavily. There's additional images. They're all unique, quote unquote, because we edit the images as well. There's like a lot we do for the on page, and there's like EAT that's pretty legit. Like if I showed you a page right now, you'd be like, I didn't know that was you. And it'll look like it literally looks like one of those Forbes articles. Do you know what I mean? With like it's formatted almost exactly the same. Like Google.
Yeah, they're like reviewed by, edited by, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they're all real people. We pay real people to sign off on it, but we just use their name. Like Google would never know.
I do think that is really good for future proofing as well, because Google is the one thing that people don't consider is that Google is also the biggest entity engine in the world, and that they have got pretty much everything kind of named out, understood, and recognized at this point. I think last time it was something like 200 billion entities or something within the parameters of their entity search. I do think, as you just said there, that is going to future proof versus the fact that Google can very easily in the future discern if this is an AI generated profile or if this is a real human, just based on like activity and things like that and history and stuff like that, right? Creating a new persona, you don't have any of that, and it's very easy for Google, who has the biggest data also in the world, to be able to kind of backtrack that stuff.
Yeah, and it's also important not to go too hard on the content. So we also notice like we've had certain sites, partnership sites, where we would blast like thousands of articles a month, and then that would get hit really quickly, versus where we did like 50 to 100 a month, totally okay, like under the radar. So there's somewhere in between that you get hit. I don't know how many right now, but because we've tested it over like 15 partnership sites at this point.
Do you think that content velocity has any link to the root authority of the site? So like the higher DR, the more you can post, kind of thing, right? That's what I would,
Yeah,
obviously
for
the
sure.
logic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's more of a ratio. It's a ratio between how they typically post versus now. So if it's like a high DR, I don't know, like TechCrunch, they have hundreds of articles a day, right? So if you put another 50 a day, I think it should be okay, you know? Whereas if it's like a dying newspaper where they have one article a day and suddenly there's thousands, I think it's more like that, I think. I don't know. This one I don't know for sure, but this is how I quote unquote feel. So I can't speak for certain.
And I've got a question from James Oliver here as well, actually. He asks,
Sick.
how are you, yeah, shout out to James as well. How are you negotiating the deals with these partnership sites? Are you doing contracts and stuff as well?
Yeah, yeah, definitely contracts, dude. If you don't do contracts, these guys will screw you in a heartbeat. They're savages. Some of these guys, they're like, oh yeah, we mostly do handshake deals. No, they don't. They're just trying to screw you as soon as it takes off. Contracts, it's always 50-50. There's no negotiation. You could probably get away with less. They're like, oh yeah, but this guy will do it for less. I'm like, dude, go with that guy. The guy's never done a partnership in his life. He's gonna run your site to the ground. You know what I mean? But it's always 50-50, me and the publisher. Maybe we do a kickback for an intro sometimes. We do like, we take 40, 10% goes to the intro, 50% goes to the publisher. Publisher only always maximum gets 50. There's no negotiation. So we would say no to certain sites if they're unwilling to do it. Mostly because they come to us now, mostly. And
Yeah, that power position.
yeah, so the terms are, we own the content to the stuff we create, and we have 2-year residuals if they want to terminate. It's super aggressive, and if they're okay with removing all the content after termination, then it's okay. But if they want to buy us out, it's 2 years. Yeah,
that is a pretty aggressive contract, to be fair. I'm surprised that a lot of publishers sign on to that, to be fair. Like, that seems,
but
I guess that though, because it's a split equity, then that kind of makes sense as well, because they're getting,
yeah, but
it's a
there's no
win-win for
upfront
them,
fee
right?
for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I was thinking, right? Yeah. So they
yeah,
you
but
can't really
then
go wrong unless you like tank their site or something.
yeah, like let me walk you through like a scenario of our top performer. We hit like 500K revenue a month on a publisher in 2 months.
Wow.
Dude, they've never seen money like that in their life. They're like, what the hell is this? Like, they're 500K in 2 months, and they're like, all of a sudden they're thinking we're too expensive because they're paying an agency 250K a month to manage content that they think they could have created, and they've been trying to get it out ever since. It's pretty jokes, but it's
Well, they should have created it, shouldn't they? You know.
Yeah, I'm like, then you guys should have just done it yourself. They think they can do it themselves. They try to in another subdirectory, it just doesn't rank. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, dude, you guys are idiots. Stop doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, stick to the free money printer guys, you know.
Yeah.
Are you building any links to these pages, and are you doing internal linking? I'm guessing the partnerships internal linking is a major part of the play, but are you building links to them as well?
Internal links for sure. You have to. It's like no brainer. It's free. Links is only as needed, but most of the time it's weird right now. I think you commented on something the other day where I said partnerships take a while because we have several sites that finally hit like the upward trajectory after this recent update after 6 months, and we built 0 links. I thought it was a dud, but then they start mooning. I'm like, the fuck? I don't even know what's going on. Several sites that I thought were gonna fly and I built links to, they just like never flew. Even if they're like the highest traffic, most legit sites in our inventory, it's just I couldn't find a, how do I say couldn't find any relationship between the two. So we don't really build backlinks unless it's like already on the front page, like positions 5 to 10, and we wanted to get to top 3, then we do it, and it's worked. But going from, if we're on page 5, we don't start building backlinks until it's like, you know, page 2-ish, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more retrospective, right?
Yeah, because we have so many pages. It's like sometimes thousands of pages between 15 publishers. It's, how do we build links for that? Like, even with my budget, it's like, it's hard.
That was kind of perfectly getting on to my next question, which is how are you managing all of these pages, right? Is it all just rank trackers, VAs, and teams, and kind of continually building towards a calendar plan of what pages you're going to put on what site and things like that?
Yeah. We have a massive calendar plan, and we go harder on sites that are doing well right now, and we cut back on sites that aren't doing well or stagnant. So we probably have to revisit that because certain sites take off after, like I mentioned, 6 months. But yeah, it's mostly Google Sheets, VAs, Trello, Slack, and that's it. It's pretty simple. It's actually not that bad. I have a master sheet of partnerships. That's how we do it.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense with all the mash sheets and stuff. Are you blasting pages from different domains to the same keyword, or is it all just unique offers for each site and things?
Yeah, same keywords. It's like, but because how I got clapped before, we do slight, like I would say 50% different keywords every time, 50 to 60. But the main ones, because I know I can fill them with rank and rents. I call it rank and rents, probably not the right term, but like retail rank and rents, where brands pay us to be number one. Yeah, I have like a huge list of people who paid historically, and we're trying to get back there, and yeah, it's working so far. So there's like a lot of low competition, like on, it's not really low competition, but on Ahrefs, it's like KD 0 to 10, but they're high volume supplement keywords, and we're still able to lock it in. Yeah.
Do you ever use free parasites? You said earlier that Reddit is really good as well, but are you using Reddit and YouTube and LinkedIn to kind of supplement these rankings, or is it mostly just the partnerships and the paid parasites?
My revenue is like 99%, I would say, partnerships. Free parasites I've tested with no success in, besides Reddit. Reddit has worked. I did. Fuck, I shouldn't have done this in public, but remember, I don't know if you saw it, but I did a Reddit subdirectory in public. I 301 like 10 domains to it, and it started ranking very well. But then Reddit removed that whole subreddit because they're like something like against TOS, some bullshit. But they probably just found it that we're just abusing it heavily.
You've probably got an SEO reporting you. To be honest, one of the white hats probably just reported it to Reddit, and you got moderated.
You think they do that? I don't think so.
100. Like, I guarantee you, somebody was watching your videos and started reporting you to Reddit mods. 100%, dude. Like, yeah.
But then it's really.
Yeah, because like if you think about it, if for you to get moderated and removed off the platform, there's 99.99% of Reddit mods are never going to be looking at the link profile for like 301 redirects and stuff, right? Like they're never going to find that. The only way they're going to find it is if they see like promotions on platform. So they've searched for a keyword and they found your subreddit, or they've actually looked on the Reddit platform and found your pages. And again, that is very, very rare in itself. Or you've just got reported. Like I genuinely probably would put more money on somebody reporting you, to be fair, right? And Reddit has purposely tried to clean up a lot recently because they've seen it. Like I would actually say that Reddit has done a better job of cleaning up their spam than Google has done of cleaning up Reddit spam in their search, which is quite funny, right? Yeah. Okay. So are you doing ongoing maintenance for these pages, or are you just kind of letting them? So you did say that you were building the links kind of retrospectively and stuff, but I'm guessing you were doing some level of maintenance, updating freshness, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but then freshness, we just run my plugin. We just change the publish date, change the first paragraph of every article. And we update whenever people pay us more and newer offers. That's it. Because, we try to get paid at least 40% commissions on the articles that we rank for. And we only go to Amazon. All these like custom affiliate guys trying to get us on FanFuel and Sell Health. How do they compete? If they're trying to offer you the same commission, but one goes to Amazon and the other goes to their shitty landing page, I'm obviously going with Amazon. You know what I mean? It's just, you get paid way more. But like, shout out to FanFuel and Sell Health. They sponsored my shit, so I can't say that.
Do you promote any direct offers? So not through a network, but directly promoting, a manufacturer or a retailer or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they pay us, and several times they're still paying us. There's the most I've ever gotten paid to be ranked number one plus 40% commission is like $40K US.
Damn.
A month.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
that a target
crazy.
basis? So you hit the rank and then they pay you out?
Yeah, we're number one. We're number one at that time. Not anymore, but yeah, number one at that time. It's insane. The sheer amount of money. It's just VC money though. These guys raise a ton of money. They don't even care. They just blow it on us.
They're sitting on like French ski resorts and stuff half the time. And things,
Yeah.
to be fair. What are your kind of ranking and ROI time frames now? So so obviously last year immediately third page it would rank. And to be fair, in a lot of niches and in some instances, and it's for me anyway, it's mostly site dependent, right? Like I have got a lot of campaigns where I can throw up a page and it will rank tomorrow. It's just very, very dependent on the site that I'm building on, right? Like a good portion of the public parasite sites that a lot of people know, they won't do that anymore because Google's, I think, put some kind of manual limitations or clapped some subfolds or something like that on it. And it might even just be like a crawling and indexing limitation, like some sort of a sandbox. And people are saying sandbox doesn't exist. It's got proved. So what are your kind of recent ROI and ranking timeframes for these pages?
Yeah, well, ROI depends on what you mean by the investment, because if it's partnerships, it's zero.
Cost of the page.
Yeah, this like negligible because it's AI content, right? And we've been revisiting that, but we've been using Koala historically, and we just get free credits because we're a large affiliate for them. Couplet's great as well. It's, dude, you know the cost. It's like cents, right? Per article. I'm out of touch, but it's just cents per article.
I think we've got it down to about 7 or 8 cents per 1,000 words now with Cuppa. So
that's crazy. Yeah, you guys are definitely way lower than Koala, but I don't pay for that, so I don't know. I think ROI is like pretty damn high, but I think what we have to be careful about is because I do have a limitation on how many articles I can humanize at the same time. So we have to be more careful of the partners we take on. So there's a lot of partners that if you check Ahrefs, they're like clapped. We wouldn't take them because it's like, what's the point of us churning out hundreds of articles for not to rank? So we could mostly tell, like if they used to be 1 million sessions a month, now they're at like 50K sessions a month. They're like, oh, we're finally ready for partnerships. I'm like, sorry, we're not going to do that unless you're down for OnlyFans. So, because OnlyFans is actually low competition.
I see it all the time with the free parasites ranking for like OnlyFans leak keywords or profile keywords or something like that, and it tends to just be, from what I can tell, kind of moving from what like one famous profile and getting them to go to another profile and stuff like that, right? It's kind of a like inbred kind of way of marketing for
I don't even know what they do.
But the search volumes are absolutely insane. Like if you see some of the forums that are ranking for like OnlyFans keywords, they just go like this and they have like 30 million visits a month out of nowhere.
Yeah,
right? Like,
and that's incorrect, by the way. It's typically like 50 to 100% more.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you saw the OnlyFans numbers, right? Because it's public in the UK. They're growing so quickly. The search volumes are way higher than on whatever all the tools say. So, yeah, in some instances, is like 10x what you're seeing. Yeah,
okay. Yeah. I don't do any adults, so this is the one insight that's actually pretty interesting. And I would normally presume that traffic is worth less. But obviously, if you're talking those numbers, it really doesn't matter because you're getting 30 million clicks a month. Like you're just laughing back, right?
Yeah. And there's several networks out there now. They pay per click, so they don't even have to convert anymore. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Okay, awesome. Well, this has been a really interesting chat, and I know a lot of people at home are going to get a lot out of this. I'm guessing people can just find you online by searching Indexsy on YouTube. Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, no plugs today. Just come find me somewhere.
I'll leave links to the description in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Take it easy, guys.